मम्मी छोड़ दो मुझे, मैं नहीं नहाऊंगा, आज बहुत ठंडी है। चल चल, तुझे तो आज नहाना ही पड़ेगा। 40 दिन हो गए हैं तुझे नहाए हुए, बहुत बदबू आ रहा है तुमसे। चिंकिया भी तो 40 दिन से नहीं नहाई है, उसे भी तो पकड़ो नहाने के लिए। अरे वो पता नहीं कहाँ जाकर छुप गई है, उसे भी नहलाऊंगी आज। अरे कोई तो बचा लो रे, मम्मी मुझे जबरदस्ती नहवा रही है। कोई नहीं आएगा तुझे बचाने के लिए, तुझे तो आज नहाना ही पड़ेगा। अरे मम्मी मैं बर्फ की तरह जम जाऊंगा, छोड़ दो मुझे। अच्छा हुआ मुझे मम्मी ने नहीं पकड़ा, नहीं तो इस भयानक ठंडी में नहाना पड़ता। चल कपड़ा उतार और नहा यहाँ। अरे मम्मी ऐसे ही बहुत ठंडी लग रही है, अगर कपड़ा निकाला तो मेरी कुल्फी जम जाएगी रे दादा। चल कपड़ा उतार जल्दी, नहीं तो डंडे से बहुत पिटाई करूंगी तुम्हारा। नहीं नहीं डंडे से मत मारना, उतारता हूँ कपड़ा। नहीं उतारूंगा कपड़ा, बहुत ठंडी लग रही है। चल उतार। अरे मम्मी बाप रे बहुत ठंडी लग रही है, हड्डी भी कांप जा रही है रे मम्मी। चलो बाल्टी में से पानी निकाल कर डाल अपने ऊपर। अरे नहीं रे मम्मी ऐसा जुलूम मत करो, मैं बर्फ बन जाऊंगा। अरे माई रे, चिंटू को ऐसे देखकर मुझे भी ठंडी लगने लगी है। अच्छा हुआ मैं बची हुई हूँ। मम्मी वो देखो कॉकरोच। कॉकरोच कहाँ है कॉकरोच? अरे रुक जा, कहाँ भाग रहा है? तुझे तो आज नहला के ही मानूंगी, बहुत बदमाश हो गया है तू। मैं नहीं रुकूंगा, जब तक गर्मी नहीं आ जाती मैं नहीं नहाऊंगा। क्या तू पूरा ठंडी निकाल देगा बिना नहाए? हाँ। इस पेड़ पर चढ़ जाता हूँ, मम्मी पेड़ पर नहीं चढ़ पाएगी तो मैं बच जाऊंगा। अरे बदमाश कहीं का, तू पेड़ पर चढ़ गया, चल नीचे उतर जल्दी। नहीं नहीं मैं नहीं उतरूंगा। नीचे उतर, नहीं तो तुम्हारे पापा को बुला कर लाऊंगी और तुझे खूब पिटवाऊंगी। जब तक तुम जाओगी पापा को बुला कर लाने, तब तक मैं उतर कर भाग जाऊंगा। तो रुक, मैं ही चढ़ती हूँ पेड़ पर। तुम औरत हो, तुम पेड़ पर नहीं चढ़ पाओगी, मैं चढ़ जाऊंगी, तुम देखना। मम्मी गिर गई। रहने दो मम्मी, तुमसे ना हो पाएगा, हंस हंस के मेरा पेट फूल गया है। थोड़ा पानी को छू कर तो देखूं कि कितना ठंडा है पानी। अरे दादा पानी तो बहुत ठंडा है। अब चलती हूँ सोने, मम्मी तो चिंटू के पीछे पीछे गई है। चिंटू अगर घर आया तो मैं उसे छोड़ूंगी नहीं, परेशान करके रख दिया है मुझे। अरे दादा मम्मी इतनी जल्दी वापस आ गई। चलकर छुप जाती हूँ, नहीं तो मुझे भी नहाना पड़ेगा। चिंकिया भी घर में नहीं है, उधर चिंटू भी भाग गया, मैं आज उन दोनों को छोड़ूंगी नहीं। अरे मम्मी तो सोफे के ऊपर ही बैठ गई, अब क्या करूँ? अरे बाप रे, कॉकरोच आ गया। नहीं नहीं इधर मत आना। ये तो मेरे ऊपर ही चढ़ने लगा। हट 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 जाना, मेरे मुंह पर से हट जा। अरे ये धीरे धीरे आवाज कहाँ से आ रही है? लगता है गांव में बच्चे खेल रहे हैं, उन्हीं की आवाज है ये। थू 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 थू। अरे चिंकिया तुम तो सोफे के पीछे छुपी हुई हो और मैं कब से तुम्हें ढूंढ रही हूँ, लेकिन क्यों ढूंढ रही हो? तुम्हें नहलाने के लिए। चल वहाँ बाथरूम में पानी भरा है बाल्टी में, चल कर नहा ले वहाँ। मम्मी वो देखो बिल्ली। बिल्ली कहाँ है बिल्ली? अरे यहाँ पर तो कोई भी बिल्ली नहीं है। अरे रुक जा, तू भी मुझे बेवकूफ बना गई। अरे ये मम्मी फिर से आ गई और वो चिंकिया को पकड़ रही है नहलाने के लिए। चढ़ जाती हूँ। अरे अरे चिंटिया भी पेड़ पर चढ़ गई। अब तुम दोनों बचोगे नहीं, देखो तुम्हारे पापा आ रहे हैं।
Maria had cleaned mansions before, but nothing like the Whitmore estate. It wasn't a home, it was a palace built on secrets and silence. Every inch gleamed. Marble floors, chandeliers that hummed softly when the air conditioner kicked on, and windows so tall they made her dizzy. She had been working there for 3 months now, ever since Mrs. Whitmore, the new Mrs. Whitmore, arrived. To everyone else, Evelyn Whitmore was a dream, graceful, kind, and almost too perfect. But Maria had learned that perfection, especially in the rich, usually came with a price. Maria had grown up with nothing, a childhood of hand-me downs and odd jobs, raising her siblings after her mother passed. She didn't resent hard work, it made her feel alive. But this house, it made her uneasy. It wasn't just clean, it was controlled. No fingerprints, no clutter, no warmth. And yet, there was one strange thing she noticed early on. In the west hallway, behind a portrait of Mr. Whitmore's first wife, a painting Evelyn had ordered to be kept but never touched. The wallpaper bulged slightly, as if the wall itself was breathing. One Tuesday afternoon, while dusting the hallway, Maria heard something unusual. A soft, rhythmic tapping. Inside the wall, she froze. The sound stopped. Her heart thudded. She leaned closer, pressing her ear against the cold wallpaper. There it was again. A faint scratch, like something alive. She stepped back, clutching her duster. Mice, she whispered to herself. But this house was too sterile for mice. She'd seen the pest control reports, weekly visits. The next day, she mentioned it casually to Evelyn. "Tor, Mrs. Whitmore, I think something might be behind the west wall. Maybe an animal." Evelyn's reaction was instant and sharp. "Tor, don't go near that wall again, Maria." Or her voice, usually soft as velvet, carried steel that made Maria's skin prickle. That night, Maria couldn't sleep. Her mind replayed Evelyn's expression. Not fear, not irritation, but panic. What was behind that wall? The next morning, when she came early to clean before the family woke, she brought a small flashlight and a screwdriver. Just in case. She waited until the clock hit 6 a.m. The house was quiet. She slipped into the west hall, moved the portrait aside, and gently tapped the bulging section of wallpaper. Hollow. Heart pounding, she pried the corner loose. Behind it, a narrow wooden panel. She hesitated only a second before wedging the screwdriver in and pulling. The panel creaked open, and inside the cavity was a small metal box. Maria's hands trembled as she pulled it out. It was heavier than it looked. Old, dusty. The latch wasn't locked, just rusted shut. She opened it and gasped. Inside were stacks of envelopes, dozens of them, sealed and neatly tied with a faded blue ribbon. Each one was addressed the same way, to Anna Whitmore, Mr. Whitmore's first wife. Maria flipped one open. It was a letter written in shaky handwriting. "Tor, my dearest Anna, I don't know if you'll ever forgive me. The doctors say you don't remember, but I remember everything." Her eyes darted through the words. Guilt, heartbreak, love. And then something else of fear. "Troy had to protect you. They wanted your research, your formula. They said it could change medicine forever. I had to make them believe you were gone." Maria's breath caught. Research, formula. She read another letter, and another. Each revealed a tangled truth. Anna Whitmore hadn't died in an accident, as everyone believed. She had disappeared. And Evelyn, the new Mrs. Whitmore, had been helping her husband hide the truth. But not for greed. For protection. Suddenly, a voice behind her made her jump. "Tor, you shouldn't be reading those." But Evelyn stood in the hallway doorway, her face pale but calm. Maria stammered, "I'm sorry. I heard something and..." Evelyn raised a hand, her eyes glistening. "Cho, it's all right. I knew someone would find them someday." She walked closer, her voice trembling. "Cho, Anna was my sister." Maria's eyes widened. "Cho, when she disappeared, the world believed she died. My husband, he loved her. And when I met him years later, we shared the same grief. He didn't marry me to replace her. He married me because we both couldn't let her go." Evelyn touched the box gently. Tor. Anna created a treatment. A serum that could slow certain degenerative diseases. But she refused to sell it to a corporation that wanted to patent it for profit. When threats started coming, she vanished. My husband helped her hide until he passed. I've kept her secret all these years. Maria whispered, "So she's alive." Evelyn smiled faintly. "So yes, somewhere safe. But her letters, these are the only proof she ever existed. I couldn't let anyone destroy them." Maria felt tears sting her eyes. She had come from a world where secrets destroyed families, but this secret was built from love. "Sure, you were protecting her," Maria said softly. "And your husband's memory." Evelyn nodded. "Tor, and you," she added quietly. "You were kind enough to care. Most people would have sold these letters or run to the media." Maria shook her head. "No, ma'am, some things are meant to stay sacred." Evelyn looked at her for a long moment, then reached into her pocket and handed her a small envelope. "Tor, take this, not as payment, as gratitude." And inside was a letter, and a check for an amount that made Maria's knees weak. "Tor, it's for your family," Evelyn said gently. "I heard about your brother's condition. Maybe this will help." Maria could hardly breathe. She hadn't told Evelyn much. Just that her younger brother back home needed surgery. "Tor, how did you?" "Tor, I listened," Evelyn said simply. "That's what Anna taught me. To see people who the world overlooks." 2 weeks later, Maria stood outside a small clinic in her hometown. Her brother's surgery had been a success. He was walking again, laughing again, alive. She thought of Evelyn often. Sometimes she'd get a small card in the mail, no return address. Just a few words in elegant handwriting. "Tor, kindness keeps the world from collapsing." Maria would smile every time. She never told anyone what she'd found in that wall, or whose secret it had been. Because she'd learned something that day. Not all secrets are meant to be exposed. Some are meant to protect the good that still exists in people's hearts. And for the first time in her life, Maria understood, even the walls that hide the deepest secrets can still echo with love. 2 moral messages. Sometimes, the greatest acts of kindness happen in silence. When we choose compassion over curiosity and understanding over judgment. Because what's hidden isn't always wrong. Sometimes it's sacred.